So the core is a vital region to not only being insanely strong, but being healthy. Having a strong core, i.e. rectus, abdominis, TVA, and obliques, not only allows us to squat huge weights and deadlift weights, but we can do it without messing up our backs. So even if you have a normal sit-down desk job, these exercises are for you. Okay, so the first exercise I think is crucial is the plank. Now as you can see, he's just holding a position, trying to stay pretty much parallel with the ground, and this is gonna force almost all the abdominal muscles to have to hold position. The problem is when we're seating and when we're sitting and standing, we're not really utilizing our abdominal muscles much, and this is why a lot of people today have a lot of back pain here, is because the muscles here and in the front are very, very weak. So this exercise teaches you how to have static strength on this exercise and maintain proper back health and proper back posture. So now we can also do this on the side. So now you can see we're going to put the pressure on the sides of the abs. This is for the obliques. Still going to involve some of the TVA. I think that the best way to do the plank is to have a drawled in stomach. So in powerlifting we talk about keeping the stomach pushed out. In the plank, I think that we should talk about the stomach being sucked in as tight as possible. Not only will this be better for aesthetics, but it's also going to make the abdominal muscles function properly. So as you can see, it's even for a pretty healthy guy, it's pretty hard to hold that position. The next exercise is your classic leg lift. Now you can do these hanging. It's going to be hard on your hands. The way he's got these, we've got like arm pads that hang from the top. They're really inexpensive. This is a great exercise to tag in the lower abdominal with the hip flexor, okay? Now a lot of times this muscle for most people is very, very weak, but it has a lot to do with how strong your abs are and how much hip problems you have. So if you're having hip pain and hip issues, try to get your hip flexors stronger and more flexible and find that pain go away. So the easy way to do it is just to bend the knees. So as you can see, he's gonna raise his knees, try to get as high to his chest as possible. He's pretty flexible, so it's a pretty far range of motion. For some of you, you're not gonna be able to go that high. The next more advanced way is to raise the whole leg. Obviously this is more weight, but it's also a lot more unstable, so he can swing a lot more. So you have to actually tempo yourself more doing this exercise or you'll swing too much. Good. So the leg lift is a great exercise, and you'll find that these muscles are very, very weak and tied into the lower abdominal muscles. I find that this area being weak usually is a massive cause for lower back pain. The next exercise is just a one-arm carry. Pretty easy, you don't need a lot of equipment or really a lot of room to do. But this makes the other side of his abs work really hard. So when he's carrying it on the left, this side has to work harder. So as he's walking the left side, right? And then if he switches hands, he's gonna have to work the opposite side of his abs. I find that these are way more abdominal work than doing both hands at the same time, because they kind of counteract each other. If you're doing one side at a time, the abs have to work extremely hard, and this is functional for everyone, not just lifters. The next big exercise that I like to use a ton of, I do every week, is the hanging band crunch. So he's gonna grab this band, pretty thick band, a little bit higher over the head, and he's gonna crunch down. The trick is not the range of motion, it's only a couple inches, but it's really pulling on those ab muscles, but we're also providing a little bit of traction to the back as well. So you can do this in his way, where he's doing a rounded back version, or we can just bend at the hip and keep everything more arched. I prefer this way right here. The other way is gonna have more abdominal action and innervation, but this way is gonna help you learn how to keep proper posture, which I find is more of an issue than more people need. So right here, I want you to try to maintain a more of an arched back when you do these and really pull with the abdominal muscles. So today we talked about abdominal muscles and how they have to be for everyone. I mean, obviously they're super important for when we're big squatters and deadlifters, but for the average person, weak abdominal muscles causes tons of lower back pain. And lower back pain is hitting about 80% of the population in some way, shape, or form in some time in their life. I think by adding a lot of these exercises, not only are you going to be able to lift more, but you're going to be able to do it longer with less back pain.